Hi everyone, the official 20th anniversary of the game is approaching. Today, instead of the game content update, I'm recording this video. There will be other videos to come in the following days as well, covering different topics. After all, we only have one 20th anniversary. On the other hand, I may have an eternity to update this game. Alright, this is a joke. Unlike some rumors among some of you, I have not achieved immortality yet, at least not at this moment. But I do have achieved 20 years of constant game updates. Many great things have humble beginnings. About 20 years ago, on July 4th, 2004, the game was officially released in China for the first time. The actual development started earlier than that, but since that's the official release, I'm using that date to mark the start of everything. It started as a fan game of Stone Age Online, an online game that died long ago. I went AFK from Stone Age Online on August 15th, 2003, taking a year to join a crusade against the infamous high school entrance exam in China. I probably literally put another unknown person's life in misery by securing myself a place in one of the top high schools, because there were limited spawns. Even though everyone may have sacrificed to fight for those spawns, only a few came out victorious. And such victories was also built on the ruins of others. Yet, when I came back from that war, I only found the Stone Age Online almost died, people left, and only a few friends remained. So I made a promise to a girl. We shall have our own Stone Age that will last until the end of the world. A promise I have been keeping for the past 20 years. And so that's how everything truly started. Back then, there was no public online storage service. So the game was uploaded to ybft.com's FTP at first. Only a few years later, there came some public free online storage with a pathetic 50 MB total size limit. So in the early days, I optimized the game size wherever I could. So you will never see any fancy graphics back then. The first iteration of the game was made with a modified version of RPG Maker 2003 with a size of merely around 13 MB. It went so well that even many big websites in China such as Xingnan were redistributing my game, even without asking me first. I even meet some shady guys selling the game's pirate CDs right near my school. Well, I keep an open mind to pirating, so that's not a problem for me. I'm only glad the game brought so much fun to many people back then, when there were very few indie games out there. However, RPG Maker 2003 can never achieve my goal to recreating Stone Age Online. Thus, about a year later, the development moved on to RPG Maker XP. At least I can start to do some real programming with Ruby with that. Back then, RPG Maker XP was a cutting-edge engine that was publicly available when Unreal and Unity either did not exist or were far from a common indie developer's reach. Many of its code structure for making an RPG game can still be a textbook example to this day. Now here's a fun fact. In one of the startup companies I was once a part of, I found even a formal Tencent tech leader could not write and organize something that beautiful. It went quite well. You may even say I remade Stone Age Online into a single-player RPG with all kinds of other crazy stuff. But once Stone Age Online was remade, even with a lot of additional content, there was emptiness. Where shall we go next? The next ambitious step is to continue that story in a modern day setting with multi-language localization and a lot of more crazy stuff coming on Steam. Of course, I cannot release a game with any of Stone Age's assets because of copyright issues, even though the copyright owner may have been long dead. So you can see this may be a totally different game. Yet the story keeps going on. Compared to its past history, the game has only been on Steam for a few years, but somehow it has already outlived some big brand games. I don't understand those kids nowadays. They put their games in early access, then abandoned it just a year later, betraying the trust of their players. As someone who has kept a promise for 20 years, I don't know how a developer can do that. Maybe the industry is too business nowadays. Well, the good news is NEOLITHIA is more a mission than a business. I will not be like them. I don't even care about sales. After all, the most glorious moment of the game back in 2007 has long gone. Yet the game just keeps going. Yes, during the past 20 years, almost all other games from that era died. Even sites that once hosted the game did not last as long as the game itself. The game outlived YBFT.com, one of the BBS pioneers in China. The game outlived Liu RPG and DIY RPG, which were the biggest RPG maker firms in China. The game also outlived some companies I once worked with. The game outlived the Gameloft New York studio, where I once worked on the Spider-Man and the Cars projects. The game outlived Hyperreal, one of the biggest VR startups in China back then. Yet, the most sorrowful part is the game also outlived some people. Some of us. But as Hemingway once said, every person has two deaths. Once they are buried in the ground and the last time someone says their name. The game is now carrying on their memories to delay their second death for as long as I can. For a game about the end of the world, it's ironic that it never reached the end of itself so far, isn't it? But even though this game is already the longest lived RPG in China, it's not like the game will last forever. Just like many things in history, I do not expect thousands of years later everything I have done today will still be remembered by someone. In fact, most of the people will be forgotten in history. Does that mean everything we are doing in our life is meaningless? Oh well, maybe it is. Hey, you are not expect me to say that, right? You want to struggle and change your fate if you know something bad is about to happen. It's natural. But I'm looking at the problem from a different perspective of view. I don't think reaching the realization that life is meaningless on the scale of the universe should be something despairing. It's the opposite. For I achieved such realizations, and still, after taking this game, those who have such resolution shall be happy. And this shall conclude the first video about the game's past. We'll continue the sequel. All the game's past illustrations are available in the game's Steam Workshop for free. So, some may even say the game actually contains more than just one game. There are 3, or even more.